Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night America here on the NDB Media Network. Folks, it is a glorious day. It is a holiday. We'll get into the name in a little bit because we're not going to make anyone happy how we name this day, but it is a holiday. And we're not going to get into the reason or the why we call it a holiday, but it is what it is. It's a wonderful Monday night. I was off all day, and I wasn't at work. So go play with that one. Of course, folks, Roger Noriega right here, my co-host, buddy, guest, fellow something.
Crazy person.
There it is. Michael Day. Good evening, Michael. How are you?
I am doing great tonight. As people can see, I'm not home. I'm at my other house trying to deal with a renter that decided to crack the door of the oven.
How do you do? Okay, well, we'll get to that.
I don't know how they did it. I really don't.
Oh, that is crazy. Oh, hey, it just dawned on me. I swing both ways, folks. Enterprise and Rogue One t-shirt. It just dawned on me right now. Oh, yeah, and I'm not going to live that comment down, so we'll let it go at that. We want to welcome our special guest this evening. We've been wanting to speak to him for a while, which I'm sure he's going to say, no, you never asked. But we are now. Beau Williams. Good evening, young man. How are you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Really happy to be here. Finally. God, I'm just kidding. But I am happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we thank you. Let me see. Nefarious Ferrets. Is that the new one? I'm not sure. Are you talking about the oven? Oh, is that the new oven? There you go.
No, he was up here 2 weeks ago, and he saw what had been done.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Nefarious Ferrets, they're involved with several programs. Michael, you want to mention them?
They're involved with Crossroads,
yes,
which is a end of TOS era.
Those old scientists?
Yeah, the old people, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that's actually from, oh my God, what's the comic program? Oh my goodness, Lower Decks.
Yeah. And he also was involved with the creation of Dreadnought Dominion, and some other people are running that now. He convinced me to be a producer on that show. So yeah, another one I'm involved with.
Actually, there's a little connection right here as far as the fandom goes, because you guys both of you have been doing quite a bit of stuff over the last few years. But Beau, before we monopolize, because that's what we do here, tell us about yourself, and let's just get into the conversation. Beau, it's not going to be a straight interview. It's going to be a conversation.
Sounds great.
That's what we'd like to do here. Yes,
I'm into it. I like
awesome.
it. So I'm Beau Williams. I played the character of Artim Ibanya on the Star Trek Fanfilm Hidden Frontier, and later on in the spinoff, the Helena Chronicles, working with Rob Caves and that crew for many years. Do you want to hear what I'm doing these days? I don't know. Can I plug anything?
You plug it all. And we were going to ask, and I owe you an apology, professional and personal, but the conversation picked up before we went live. I was going to ask you for the web pages, anything you would like us to put so we can put it on our ticker down at the bottom. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. You can just go to YouTube. I think it's Quest Chaos, but I've been a big nerd my whole life, really into all things nerddom, and I have been doing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons content lately. So with a studio called Quest and Chaos,
Yes.
you can look them up. I play in one show called Chaos Agents. And we're getting ready to start up as soon as we can all meet up again in person. We're looking to start up season 2, and then I also DM one show called Natural One. So you guys can check that out. Just Google Quest and Chaos, and you'll find me.
Wow, absolutely awesome. Well, we already did get a like. We're going to see right now. Warren Reed Thank you
Oh
very
my
much.
goodness. Fellow
Yes.
Chaos Agent.
Awesome. Hey, well, hopefully they'll have some comments in there. Donna Smith Parker, of course, Mr. Parker is watching as well. Hi, folks. Thanks for joining us. Of course, Mr. Parker had the comment of "I love lower decks," so yes, really good stuff. We'll get into that a little bit. So you're a dungeon master, huh?
Oh yes, yeah. I've really been enjoying that. It all started with Critical Role, the granddaddy of all the streams for Dungeons and Dragons. Really got into that. Really appreciated it, and that got me into Dungeons and Dragons in general,
Yes.
which was great. I know it's like that gateway for a lot of people to get into that fandom, into Dungeons and Dragons, and it definitely was for me. And I said, I've got a lot of thoughts that I want to put together, and so I just started DMing with my friends. I wrote this campaign, and when I started with Quest and Chaos, they gave me the opportunity to bring that to a show, and so I'm really
Mm.
happy about that.
Beau, I know Dungeons and Dragons as exactly that, the time of Dungeons and Dragons. But do you uh, play other? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Do you have other versions? Because I remember in high school, back in my day, some of the adventures were kind of like. I remember we were after the Dragon helicopter in Afghanistan, so it was more current. That was the only time I ever got to go on one. That was it. I was never in the group, so I couldn't play. What
Oh, is that
is
right?
your? Yeah, they just never let me play, but that's okay. Where? What is the universe that you play in? And I don't mean to say play in. Forgive me, but you know what I mean,
No,
right?
no, yeah, absolutely. So this is the fifth edition of Dungeons and Dragons that we play.
Okay.
So it's the fifth edition rule set, and of course, every dungeon master gets to decide. There's that rule zero, as they call it, that the dungeon master gets to decide what rules apply and don't at times.
Okay.
Um, and generally, in my opinion, it should be for the benefit of the players. But we can have that conversation.
Okay.
Um, but
Yes.
but sorry, where was I going with that? Yes. Um, so I play in a homebrew world of my own creation, and I work with my brother, who is my writing partner on the show, and we kind of write the story. And of course, the thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it's a communal storytelling experience. Um, so it's one of those things that I will write the story, and the players will, of course, change all of that. And I have to pivot and move and think on the fly and get them to get where I want them to go and kind of manipulate them into doing what I want them to do. But it's hard. It's hard. Dungeons and Dragons players are notorious for going off script, so to speak, off of the rails. And so that's part of the magic of it, though. So Natural One, my show, is set in the fictional world of Rasmore, which is kind of a high fantasy, um, classic Dungeons and Dragons type of thing. But I go for a very serious, dark, gritty feel. I I like to say that it's like a Game of Thrones feel, just with
Mm.
we fade to black a little sooner. So
That's funny. That's good.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, we have a compatriot right here, Josh Jones, who is from All Tower Media. He's a DM himself, and there it is. Being a Dungeons and Dragons player himself, and also a huge fan of Star Trek. Have you ever had a chance to play Star Trek Adventures? Because I believe he does Star Trek as well.
I would love to. I have never had the opportunity, but I would absolutely play that. The tabletop RPGs that I've had the good fortune to play, actually with Warren Reed, he does some DMing on there for Carbon 2185, which is a cyberpunk um, story or world, and that's fun, and mainly Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm looking to play Star Wars. I'm looking to play Star Trek. I'm here for it. Absolutely.
Josh, Bo, there it is. There's a connection right there. There's one. It's really good. As a matter of fact, we'd started for a short while one of the newer versions. I believe it was in the Shackleton expense. And I believe Josh and the team were very kind because I was the oldest guy. So they made me the captain, which
Hey.
unfortunately did appeal to my ego. And I think they weren't ready as to how much of a jerk I was. So, yeah, I wasn't going to take crap from a Romulan. Give me a break. But anyway, but I kid. But all kidding aside, Josh is into that stuff, and you should check out All Tower Media. So, you never know. There might be something. I know Josh was trying to do something online, where being the DM, doing it like this as we are now. There's a
Yeah,
lot of promise, man.
we kind of went to that format as well over at Quest and Chaos for once the pandemic hit and we couldn't get around. We kind of went to a Zoom kind of type of setup. And you do lose a little bit when you do that. It's always fun to have that good energy around the table together. So,
Yes.
we're looking forward to when we get back to that.
That is so awesome. I did get a chance, as I mentioned. I was in high school, and they let me play. And that one time, we were there, and it was cool. And I remember being very aggressive back then too. We were up on a hill. We saw a convoy going by, and I'm like, "Hey, that's the enemy!" Yeah, but we can't be seen. And let's take a shot at them. I surprisingly had the rolls always go my way. It didn't matter how far I was, where I was, I would mow them down. That was the only thing I was good at, was aggressively taking shots, and I would score a lot of hits.
That's
So,
good. There's a place and time for that for sure.
yeah.
And I
Right.
think one of my favorite things about Dungeons and Dragons, though, is the character of the dice, because you can do different roles to do different things, and that's going to change how the story unfolds. So I
Yes.
love that aspect as well.
I agree, Bo. There's something also when you roll, how you roll. It's kind of like what they say in Las Vegas. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you can always have one character ruin the hand for everyone. One character, I'm sorry. You can have one player ruin the hand for everyone else.
Hmm.
If you're not following the rules, if you do whatever, you can mess things up. So I
That's
guess
true.
it applies as well in
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. That is cool. I know we'll be talking about that some more. Maybe talk about some adventures and stuff. But uh, yeah, let's talk about where you got your first break. I guess we'll get to that right now.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Check that out. The dice are chaotic a-holes. Yeah,
It can
they
be.
are. Yes.
But I'm here for the chaos. Hence Quest to Chaos, right?
Right.
Yes. So my start with Star Trek fan films was I was 13 years old, and I was working on doing acting back then, and I think we had found a posting in Backstage West. They were looking for someone around my age. I think I interviewed with Rob. I auditioned with Rob at I think it was Loyola Marymount, and yeah, and they said, "Oh yeah, this kid looks close enough to the actual Artem, guy. My hair was, parted differently and less long. I mean, I don't know if you can see this in my COVID grow out, but um, I had, the hair of the character, and then I got the role, luckily, and it was gonna be doing a couple months later. I then had a different role for a different film that I was doing, and they asked me to get a buzz cut for that, which I
Oh,
did,
wow.
and then showed up to film as Artim Ibanya with a shaved head. So I'm sure that caused Rob no small amount of grief at the time, but they didn't send me packing. Luckily, they
Did they
kept me
say
around.
anything or not?
Oh, of
They
course
didn't
they
say
did.
anything to me, not to
Oh,
me. I was a 13-year-old kid, right? So they
oh,
were very classy about that. Yeah.
God, that's right. You really were that young. That's
Mhm.
right.
Mhm. Absolutely. I met so many great people there. I don't know if you guys remember Jason Munoz as well.
Yes, he was early in the series.
Yeah, yeah. So I met him. Was in that episode To the Stars um, there as well with him. So after the Angeles series, they moved to Hidden Frontier, and then they brought Artem Ibanya back and decided that he was going to go into Starfleet. And because of his experiences with Data in Star Trek Insurrection. So it was this whole thing where he decided he was going to go into Starfleet. It's a great story. I really appreciated it. And um, Jason Munoz made it such a great experience as well. Kind of like a very big brother type thing. Took me under his wing. We had a great time. He ended up, I think, giving me a couple of models. One was a Maquis um, ship from Voyager. So I got to put that together and do that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, really, really great team over there that really kind of embraced me. So yeah, that's how it started. And then if I can go on just a little longer, sorry, I know this is lengthy,
Not at
but
all. It's all you, Beau.
thank you. So when we did To the Stars, I was a bit older at that point, and I of course had my proper hair, not my buzz cut, and it kept flashing back to the Angelus episode where I first debuted. And so it was interesting because they had that old footage and that was great, but I don't think everyone knew that that was actually me right at the time. They were I remember some comments where people were like, "Wow, they got an actor to play the young guy that looks really like him." Yes, they did.
Now, just curious, Beau, were you 13 for Hidden Frontier, or were you 13 for the USS Angela series?
That's a good
What was-
question. I'm trying to remember.
That means
I
you would have
think
been
it was
younger
I
then.
think it was Angeli's series. I think it was the Angelis series that I was
Wow.
13 for.
Either way, you started young. And folks, what we're talking about, the USS Angeles, is really one of the first series. Seriously, they really did. They were in the 1990s, I believe, late 90s. It was a fan club. I'm sorry, not was a fan club that still exists. The USS Angeles. Are they part of Starfleet, or do you remember the club, the Federation they're part of?
I don't, unfortunately.
It is the USS Angeles 718 something. I don't know. Oh, 71840 probably. I wonder if that's the number. Anyway, you can find them on YouTube now, and the episodes. How many episodes were there?
I
It
don't
was a
recall. I was very
movie.
young. There
Okay.
was a movie, and then they had some episodes as well. But yeah, I don't remember exactly how many episodes. I'm sure a Google search will reveal it for us.
Oh yeah. Very quickly, I do want to give some shout outs. Thank you, as I mentioned, Warren Reed, Donna Smith Parker, Nefarious Ferrets, Jacob Hayes, and Tony Konopka. Thank you, folks, for the likes. We do appreciate it, and we appreciate the comments as well. SFI, okay.
Starfleet International. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some really, really good stuff. Oh, I think we got another like right now. Oh, I don't know if that one counts. That's my cousin, Patty Figueroa.
No, if it's Patty, no.
Yeah, it's okay.
Love you, Patty.
Oh, good. So we're up to 6, folks. We do appreciate that. And yes, there are some. Well, it's not about me right now, Patty. It's about Beau. I'll talk about that sad stuff later. We're good. I'm still breathing, as I tell people. So, all kidding aside, the USS Angeles was one of the first episodes, and they were not available for the longest time. I don't know how or why. Did you hear why they were finally released? Because the episodes were only for the club members.
Was that right? Yeah, I didn't know that was the case, actually.
I don't
I
know
just
when it was released. I believe it was in the last decade, and I don't remember. They just finally did, and
That's
I
good.
wonder if it was a footage issue, whatever. Because CBS and Paramount are tad prickly when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, I heard there were a lot of lawsuits back in the day going around.
Yeah, rumor has it there's still 1 or 2 right now, but we don't want to talk about them.
We don't talk about that. No.
Oh, Nefarious says, I'm also sharing on our page. Thank you. Yes, Beau is one of the. Ooh, are you almost like a TOS character? You're one of the originals. Folks, Beau was there in Hidden Frontier. Hidden Frontier, they used the blue screen. No, I'm sorry, the chroma key method, right? Filming.
I mean, we had a green screen.
Green
right?
screen, yes.
Yeah.
And I know that the haters, I hate using that word, but the haters always commented about the green screen and the stuff that was around you guys. And as the rare times that I would comment, said, if that's what you have against these guys, really? That? Oh, go home. Go, you don't need to even be around here.
I agree. I think that Hidden Frontier did a whole lot. I think that they did a lot with what they had as well. And as the seasons went on, you started to see that get better and better and better. As Rob put more work into that, I think it was great. And you got a great story with Hidden Frontier, with great people. So, yeah.
I mean, over time, it does get better. I mean, you look at most fan films, if you look at their first few, they're rough. They're rough. And most do get better because they get experience and other people come on board and things like that.
It's I'm trying to utter it's not an issue of even being honest. The work speaks for itself, but you guys were doing stuff that the rest of us will never do. You had a chance to, as I've told other people, tell your own stories, and it was really, really exciting stuff. You're doing what most of us want to do, and that's play in the sandbox. You had a chance to play in the sandbox, man.
Absolutely. And when I was younger, I didn't always get that, as much as I would have liked that I didn't see the whole big picture, because when you're a kid and a teenager, your life is, I think, a bit smaller in scale. So it was, looking back, I can definitely see that and really appreciate that for what it was.
Now, we've talked about, it was USS Angeles, the club member stuff. Then it was Hidden Frontier, which ran for 7 seasons. Their first season, I believe, they did 6 episodes. And then the second and third, you guys did 9 episodes. And we'll talk about what your role was, because I know... See, I'm confusing because we spoke before we went live. We shouldn't have done that, darn. Because you shared quite a bit before we went live. But seasons 2 and 3 were 9 episodes, and that's a lot. And then the 4th season came around, and then you went back to 6 episodes. And I think that's when I discovered Hidden Frontier myself. And I got to tell you, I enjoyed it. I caught up, and somewhere in the 4th or 5th season, you guys started doing episodic length episodes. That was crazy, man. You guys were doing 45, 60-minute episodes. Wow.
They did do a lot of that, and like even at the very end when they did the film as well, it was like feature length type film thing at the end, 7th season, I believe.
Yes.
Which was great. They brought in Nick Cook from Intrepid for it. Got to do a lot of that. I actually got to spend some time with Nick, and we became firm friends since then. So, yeah.
For those that don't know, Nick Cook has his own program. I believe the only one out of Scotland. And that one is, oh my goodness.
Intrepid,
yes. Man, I'm getting old here. I want to give a shout out to Josh Jones. Thank you for the like there and his comment. So what if you have green screen, you work with what you have and do what you're able to do to pull off your visions? Yes. Thank you, Nefarious Ferrets. Yes. It was the stories, and they had great interaction. All of you, it looked like all of you got along, which was neat. You had a large cast, and it's amazing what you guys did on genuinely a shoestring budget, huh? Didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, it was in Rob's studio in his place. He had this little area that was just the green screen room where we did it all. And if we did anything on location, it was going out to the Angeles National Forest or something like that. So it was pretty low budget, but we did a lot with it.
I remember for the I think it was the final episode, when the convention was done. And oh my goodness, I have the button from that convention. It was that reddish one from the I was there, Beau. I was too busy getting the autographs.
So you didn't even talk to Beau?
No, we were there for a while, but there were a lot. No, I didn't. There were quite a few people there, though. That was a small place, right, Beau? The convention at the LAX. Dude, it was a room, and there were a lot of people there.
Yeah, I remember they also, I think, did a little preview of Star Trek Odyssey there as well, for everyone to see. So it was a wonderful little convention, which was the spin-off, right? Helena Chronicles and Odyssey that came after Hidden Frontier.
Yeah. I wonder if that was the second convention because the first convention, it was on a Saturday and everyone had the invite to go to Rob's house the next day because they were going to film, I believe, the wedding scene.
Right.
That
Wow.
was on a
I was in
Sunday.
that scene.
Yeah. Hey, it's all good. That's why I think the one you're talking about was the second one.
It was, yeah, that's correct.
But it's all good. After Hidden Frontier, which ran 7+ years because they did extend a little bit into the next year, then you had a short, which was Beta Shield, and you had Federation 1, and then you also had Helena Chronicles, and you had Odyssey. And folks, this was the cool thing. They had both running at the same time. That
Yeah.
was wow. I don't think anyone else did that.
Yeah, absolutely. They kept them to shorter, I think, runs for the seasons as a result of doing two separate series. But I think that you saw a lot of quality there, a lot of really great storytelling there with Odyssey and Helena Chronicles. And I really, really appreciated it. Getting to work as a regular, well, as a cast member, not a regular recurring character, but as a cast member on Helena Chronicles, working with folks like Adam Brown, it was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. I bet. As I mentioned to you beforehand, I'm starting to remember now, and thank you for reminding me. We did interview JT. Adam didn't want to do an interview, but we have him in the background in that interview with
Hey.
JT. Janice Wilcox did an interview with us as well. The captain, I forget her name, the captain of the Helena. Um, she also was in Odyssey. She was
Yes.
primary. I forget her name. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're never going to be on now because I'm forgetting their names. But she was on as well with us, and of course, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to look up because we've had a few Hidden Frontier. A lot of the performers, the
Core.
actors, yes, the core, they did come over and visit with us. Sometimes more than once, which was really cool, and it was great being able to speak to them. But after that, you had a role in Odyssey, but you were involved in Helen. What? Okay, you had a minimum of three, right, or two different roles. What was it?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh, I can't remember the character's name exactly, but he was one of the military generals for the Arkan Empire. Not the general, but like the aide to the
Yes.
general of the Arkan Empire, and eventually, they double cross that general when he's trying to do some things, and my character dies. But I really, really enjoyed being able to do that. The Arkan makeup was wonderful. They
Yeah.
brought a lot of face paint, which I really enjoyed, and being able to
You
do
did?
some different stuff. I did. I
You did
did.
like having all that stuff on you, right?
I did. I did. It's part of the experience, when you get to really kind of transform as an actor, and it's not just you. As I'm playing Artem, it's always just me, and being able to sit down, go through makeup, and really transform into someone else is a lot of fun for me.
Remind me, and I'll ask you about the other roles. But did you also play a character which was there a sword fight involved?
Oh, yeah, that was on Hidden Frontier.
Yes, huh? That was one of
Yeah,
your
that's right.
first ones, right? It was not as Artem. It
It
was
was not.
as an, I believe, Andorian, I
It
think.
was an Andorian. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that stuff was also written by John Whiting. Um,
Who was
it
General
was.
Morigu, right?
That's right. That's right. And
Yes.
before that, he was the doctor on
Dr.
Hidden
Henglar?
Frontier. Yeah, Henglar.
Yeah.
Was very firm friends with John. Still am. Really liked working with him. He's another one that kind of took me under his wing, and I really really enjoyed that relationship. He taught me how to use that sword for that episode. Really kind
It
of
looked
dealing.
real.
It was great. It was great, and I got to use it against Admiral Knapp, so that was fun. That was was a good fun scene, but a lot of very serious stuff in that episode that we had to do. They did audition a number of folks for it. I was very pleased that they wanted to bring me on for that, and especially with some of that content dealing with some of the depression and whatnot. It really meant a lot for me to be able to play that and help kind of realize that vision for John.
It's interesting that you do say that we talked about them having a story. Hidden Frontier was doing that. Your character in that failed at something, right? And that's why they were depressed. So the character was to die, I believe. You wanted a ceremonial death or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I think, oh man, it's been so long.
It has been. I didn't mean to ambush you like that.
No,
Yeah.
it's quite all right.
But it had to do with depression, right?
It did, as Andorians are warriors, and he had failed. I think that like he survived and didn't get the honorable death, and he was very depressed about that, and how he just didn't want to be there anymore, and Nap helping him kind of get past that.
I remember there was.
Was it Thalic? Was that sound
Thalic?
right?
It was Thalic. Yeah.
Oh, not bad, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
In the recesses of the brain, you pulled that out.
I tried. It was not easy because I'm looking at this oven still. Mad.
Did you ever get it? Were you ever featured on any of the promo episodes? I mean, well, not the promo episodes, but the shots where they would say like episode 4 point whatever. Were you ever on any of them? Because I actually brought up quite a few images right now, and I wanted to see if you were on any of them.
I couldn't find any, but I might have missed one.
I could have sworn I had something on Facebook. I could not see anything. I was like, where did this go? I've seen promo, but maybe that's promo from the Helena Chronicles and not from Hidden Frontier.
It could be.
Oh, yeah, you could be on there. Folks, it's really cool. I want to show just very quickly. If you do a search, forgive me, I'm going to go to a share screen. If you search Hidden Frontier, here it is. These are the images that show up, and this is what we're talking about. I believe that was from Odyssey. But here's Operation Beta Shield, the one I mentioned down here on the bottom. I remember Beachhead from Hidden Frontier. There's quite a few of the episodes. Crossroads. Let's see. Oh, hey, look at that! I know it's very.
Hey,
slow.
there he is.
There he is.
That.
There he is.
That is
That's
so
right.
cool.
Oh,
Definitely,
so young.
at least in one of them, yes. Wow,
That's awesome.
That is cool. Yes, I looked into that one, man.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Well, I found that one accidentally. There are a lot of favorites in that story. You were involved. Obviously, you've mentioned 2 episodes, but is there one that stands out for you? Because for me, I have to admit, I was hooked going back 2 hours. I think that's the first season episode or the second season. It's like very early on. And that is where, well, folks, you got to go back and watch. But you remember that one, right? Where John Jones, I believe it is the character, gets caught in that temporal rift, and they head back to basically 1912, a particular date in the North Atlantic, without revealing anything more. I don't think you were involved in that episode.
I wasn't in that one, no.
Yeah, folks, I mean, you got to go take a look at it. But they revisit a major disaster. Everyone knows what happened in 1912, late April or early April. I mean, come on. In the North Atlantic. Iceberg. Do I need to reveal any more? So,
I don't know. Was there a ship involved? I don't know.
Oh, there
They might
it
have
is.
made a major film about it.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Thanks for playing along. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, didn't the diamond or something go in the water later or something?
Oh, very good. So you did see the episode. Yeah, very good. It was a good episode, man. And that was either first or second season stuff. And that's what sold me on it. It was like, wow. And the program had material that some people did not like. And I'm not even going to insult, well, yeah, I guess I am. There was some material on that program that a lot of people did not like, and it was really disappointing. They were definitely ahead of their time, and whether you agree or not, it was, I don't want to say it was kind of neat, because that's really insulting me, but they were giving storylines to LGBTQ that did not exist anywhere else. It was a natural extension. If you look at what TOS did, and then what even DS9 did a little bit later, it was really kind of cool. And they actually, in my humble opinion, it was done well.
I appreciate that too. I appreciated it being a part of it. It was a bit of a thing actually for me and my family when we were getting involved in that. I was raised Mormon, and little later on during that time when Prop 8 was a thing here in
Oh,
California.
yes.
Yeah, and the Mormon Church kind of came out against that. So there was a lot of issues there, and my darling mother voiced her own concerns with the storylines that were going on within Hidden Frontier, and I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't understand where that's coming from. I thought it was very much Star Trek, with right within kind of what they're going for, of this idea of this society later on that is accepting of all peoples and moving forward very very progressively. So I didn't see much of an issue, and I was really really happy to be a part of that.
That is great to hear. I both not Mormon myself, but kind of hardcore Roman Catholic. Dude, same belief system almost. And I'm not trying to insult either belief, but when it came to that topic, lockstep, baby. Oh yeah, and I understand how some people were commenting that it was their issue, but for me, I thought it was well done where it was part of the story and that was it. It wasn't in your face as some people contended that it was. It was. I didn't think so. Looking back now, Beau, do you think it was? I thought it was just part of the characters. I mean, there was one or two episodes that maybe.
I think that, like with canonical Star Trek, right? You have episodes that do look at very specific issues, right? A lot, like there was one where I think Worf, wanted to commit suicide and stuff like that. So they do attack very specific issues, especially going on beyond TNG. You look at stuff like where they tackle the issue of evolution versus more of a theocracy type of view of things, or theological view of things. So you do get stuff that does highlight it, as I think it definitely deserves that, especially during that time. But for the most part, I felt it was just part of the world, and very, very well done.
It was clearly. And Michael, how much of Hidden Frontier and eventually Helena Chronicles and all that did you?
I really didn't see much of Hidden Frontier, but I did see most of Odyssey, and I saw Helena Chronicles, because that's where I saw Beau for the first time, and that's when I friended you way back, what 3 weeks ago, right?
No. Much longer than that.
Yeah, sadly. But I try not to think about that.
Okay, well, I'm going to warn you now, Beau. Forgive me for saying, but I've been doing a search. I scored. I'm about to embarrass you. I got to upload the images.
Okay, hold on now. Hold on now.
No, this is
I can get rid of Roger if I have to.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the
That's
first.
a threat.
No, it wouldn't be the first time, no.
No,
just keep your finger on that button, Michael.
Oh, it's very easy. You just go boom, and then he's gone. The thing is, he could do that to me too, so I got to.
I would never.
But you think about it.
But I'm not kidding, Beau. I really did find several of them. Do you mind if I upload them and then we can just show them a little bit?
Let's have a look. All right.
Okay, well, I'm uploading them now. I'm sorry. They're your promo shots of you in Hidden Frontier.
Oh, let's do it. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to upload them right now, so give me a moment, folks. I shouldn't have said anything, but I'm going to make everyone wait.
Well, it's good you gave him a little notice, so...
Yeah, it's only fair. I mean, some of these are really cool, dude. Some of these, yeah. And
Is your brother talking to me?
I don't know what do you mean? Oh, maybe. Hey, who knows? I may have a defender. Who knows? Oh, and these are some of the roles that we've been talking about. This is really cool. So I know,
Oops.
like, yeah, dude, just stop, just do it. And I am. I'm downloading them. Then I got to upload them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sadly it does take time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Beau, what else are you into? Because I remember, and I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a martial arts that you were into for a while. I don't know if you still are.
Yeah, so I did kendo
That was
for a
it.
long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I got my shodan in kendo, which is a Japanese martial art. It's like Japanese fencing, and I got my start in college at Diablo Valley College and started there with some wonderful people. And from there, went on to the proper dojos here in the Bay Area. Lucky in the Bay Area that we have a lot of really good kendo dojos and instructors here with a long history. I've been attending the Oakland Kendo Dojo for a long time, and I've had some breaks in there. I got up to my black belt, or what's called shodan, and then kind of life took over as I got more demanding jobs, and it got all stressful, and so it was difficult to make those practices. But I was just getting back into it. I had paid my dues. I had gotten my new equipment. I was ready to go in March of 2020. So
Oh, that sounds fun. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then COVID hit, and they have yet to meet. So. Unfortunately, but I did do pretty well. They'd probably hate me for saying this, but I did do well at tournament as well, and I really appreciated that aspect. So, if you guys are interested, and of course, I'm sure John Whiting, having got me started with the Shinai and everything back playing Thalic, will take credit for it, I'm sure. But and all credit to him, it was great. But if you get a chance, take a look at Kendo. It's good for you on so many different levels. Community is amazing. Um, the exercise is brilliant, and more than that, it's good for your spirit. So check it out.
Mm.
And if I may say, along those lines, we're going to check it
Spirit.
out.
Ooh.
So here we go, folks. There it is.
Ooh.
Look at that
Hey, there
one.
it is. There's 13-year-old Beau.
Yep. And I think we
That
have
shaved
a
head.
progression. Yeah. Here's the next one.
Yeah.
Got the locks back, young man.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, I was so thin. I was so gangly.
Oh, it's so yeah. You say that in the past tense. Cut it out, pal.
Hey, there's Thalic. There's Thalic. Look at that. I filled out a little more since then. Good old Thalic. Where'd he go? Did we lose him?
Oh, we lost him.
Who kicked me out?
He put up.
Gonna leave it on Thalic.
I'm so sorry.
I think Lewis did it.
Someone kicked me out.
My hands are like this, so I did not do it.
It wasn't me. I actually really, really appreciate this photo. Again, I got to be in makeup, and that was a lot of fun.
That's funny. You know what, folks? What I think happened is just we lost the connection. I lost the connection. But I'm going to blame everyone and anyone. Now, I believe this is also you when prior to this shot, this is you, right? This is your injury.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That is cool. I mean, the uniforms. Now, folks, this is where I get to embarrass them just a little bit. From young man to Studley. Look at that.
Oh, that's promo for the film. That's promo for the film.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
dude.
funny.
You look smart in that uniform, man. It really
thank
it
you.
Is. That is cool, man.
Thank you.
Did you get to keep the uniform or no?
No, absolutely not. They put all the time into making those, and I was just happy to be able to wear them from time to time, which was great. I did dye my hair black at the time, again unbeknownst to the producers. You can see it. I was experimenting.
That's cool though, dude.
I liked it, and I was like, oh man, I got to get a haircut. I got to cut this black out, and it was like, no time. We'll just roll with it, and it worked. I liked it.
Yes, it's cool that you were able to use the the first contact uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
those are one of my favorite ones. And by the way, as far as the Next Generation movies, yes, clearly, First
First
Contact.
Contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did have a chance to speak about that before. First
Mhm.
Contact, dude, I remember seeing it in 1996. I saw it. I saw it 4 times on opening day.
Wow.
Well, only because being the hardcore aficionado that I am, I saw the movie first. It was probably around 10:30 in the morning, so I could see it get out of the way. And then I had appointments with other friends and family, so
To
that's the only
watch it.
reason. Right? They all wanted to
Mhm.
watch it with me. And
Mhm.
what were your thoughts on that one, Beau? I mean, this is the first time we get a chance to speak, and First Contact
I
is, yeah, it's really cool.
I think as far as Trek films go, the line must be drawn here. This far, no further. Honestly, Patrick Stewart's acting in it was phenomenal. I think the story was absolutely wonderful. Um, Seeing some of those characters, I think this was what was it, the first one after Generations?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like Generations, and that's a fun film. I really enjoy it. Malcolm McDowell does a great job as Soren, I think. But it's on a different level when you go to Star Trek First Contact. I think, I mean, the production value is what it is. You see a lot more Hollywood in those films, right? You see Dr. Crusher gets a little more blonde than she was in the series. And everyone's super thin, and so it was. You saw a little of the Hollywood influence in that, but I think that the production value also went up. The story was phenomenal, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find a Trek film to beat it. TNG or post TNG, I don't know, but Nemesis was pretty good.
Oh,
Just kidding. No,
okay.
I didn't like Nemesis.
Oh, I was like, really?
I was going to say,
We have a
what?
conversation
Do I
about
have
that?
to get out of this conversation?
Beau, I apologize. Nice shot. You threw both of us. All right.
Gotcha.
He's a good actor.
He's smart, good soul, man. With First Contact, just very quickly, sticking with that movie, the TV show Star Trek usually had an A and a B storyline, and the movies had something like that. But if you look at First Contact, there's 3 storylines going on, and there might even be a 4th, and I forgot. And there's this gentleman by the name of Jamal Epsikokin, who did reviews on everything related to Star Trek, even as some Battlestar Galactica as well, and a few other things. You can look him up on jammersreviews.com. It should still be there. Wonderful commentary on that stuff. And he talked about First Contact. And I believe he's the one that mentioned that there's basically 4 storylines in that movie.
Wow.
And it's really, really awesome when you think about it. I don't want to, I mean, I guess want to waste time about figuring out what the 4 storylines are. We can, but
I want to get into weeds.
Yeah. Okay. That's funny. It is really cool in that you think it's obviously the Borg. Okay, I know one of them is the Borg Queen and Data.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you have the second one, which is Picard and Lily, where she's what started it, and he's where they are now. There's Riker and Zefram Cochrane,
Right.
and then there's another one which I don't. Maybe it's the movie itself, the whole thing of First Contact. I don't know, but I have trouble remembering what the 4th one is, but it is amazing.
Zefram
and Riker. Now, did you guys know a little bit of trivia? I think both of you probably know this. Is that Picard was originally in the Riker spot dealing with Zefram Cochrane, and Riker was fighting the Borg. But when Jean-Luc Picard read what was going on, like, oh no, I want to be on the ship. Yeah. And
that became such a powerful storyline too, because you lose a lot of the power of, if you had Riker fighting the Borg, you lose a lot of the power of that struggle with Picard trying to overcome this issue that he has, right? That's the whole thing with him and Lily, where she's like, Captain Ahab has to hunt his whale. You lose that. You absolutely lose that if Picard's down with Zefram Cochrane.
And I don't think we would have had the same feeling if Riker had been up there with Lily.
Yeah.
With all those great moments when she is seeing the ship, what is going to happen in the future from these little things that she has had a small part in developing. And I just don't think it would have been the same. I really don't.
I understand that there's quite a bit more that was in the movie that was cut out, obviously, because Paramount's a big believer of movies have to be 2 hours or less because Paramount wants more showings. That's their studio thinking. So the movies have to be shorter, so they always get cut, obviously. And we're not going to get into editors because they do phenomenal jobs. First Contact, wow. I mean, it is. When I went to the theater and I had friends and family, and I knew the story because Strangers from the Sky, the book, I knew a little bit of a background. So I was disappointed the first time I saw First Contact, I admit it. But then I realized when I heard when the Vulcans show up and they pull their hoods and their Vulcans, and there's gasps in the theater. Do you remember that, Beau? When you find out it was the Vulcans, it's a while ago. Yes, it is.
I didn't see it in theaters, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
Yes.
was a bit young, but little later I saw it, and by that time I was already like well into watching Star Trek Voyager stuff. So I was like, oh, Vulcans, yeah.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense.
I was by the third or fourth showing, seeing the reactions in theater. It's like, okay, I get it, and I had to lighten up. And I really enjoyed First Contact. There's so many scenes, words, phrases. The line must be drawn here.
Mm-hmm.
That might be me.
Are you leaving us again, Roger?
Maybe. I muted myself, and the sound continued. Michael, mute yourself.
No, Beau did.
No, you mute yourself.
Oh, mute myself.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael.
Et voila.
It's me.
Yeah, so just go ahead and reset, Michael. Yeah, it is you.
Don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, but we don't have the staff that Hidden Frontier has, man.
That's right.
Yeah, hopefully Michael will come back in just a moment. But the movie First Contact, oh my goodness. I really did appreciate Yeah, we're still getting it, Michael. Why don't you go ahead and just restart?
I don't know what I don't hear anything.
It's like you're playing with a cord, yes. It's
oh, there it goes. There it goes.
No, it's gone. No, it's gone. Come back. Come back. Come back. Okay, sorry, folks. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. There it is, Michael. Come back.
Here we go.
Okay, excellent. The whole thing in First Contact where Picard is okay. Remember the scene where he's trying to convince her to drop the weapon, and he shows her, look at what's out here, and she relents and she turns over the weapon, and Picard knows who she is, and he says, "I have so much to show you." For me, that was. It is so thick, so heavy, because he is what they do. You kind of know what I mean? Without Lillian, without Zephyr, there is no Enterprise Z, and vice versa. He is showing her what she's never going to know. And he's like a little kid in a candy store. He's like, I have so much to show you. And
a great moment.
For me, it was. Now, another one was, and I have to admit, in the theater, when she and Picard are having it out, and she brings them back. And she says, what? What was that? Of course. She read it, but anyways, Moby Dick. I've never read it. In the theater, I said, you!
She got him.
Yes, she got him, but she brought him back. And that was because he was going all the way, and it was going to end badly. Yeah,
absolutely. Very, very well done. Those moments I really feel are what make it like heads and shoulders above everything else that I've seen.
My goodness, yes. You mentioned Insurrection, which one of your namesake character, Artem.
That's right, Artem. I really liked Insurrection. Now that is one I did see in the theaters, and I enjoyed it in the theaters. Getting to see some of the stuff that they did with Data learning how to play and stuff like that by the end of it was great. I liked Worf going through Klingon puberty. I thought that was a lot of fun. Me having gone through puberty myself, like I was like, yeah. So I really, really enjoyed a lot of that. It didn't have the power that First Contact did. It wasn't that kind of story. But I think it was a fun film. And, without it, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. So.
Okay, fair
Now,
enough.
would you even have guessed that you'd have gone to see that movie and you would have been playing one of those characters?
Not at all. Not at all. I had no idea. In fact, when I learned the character that I was going to play, I was so happy. I was like, yes, I really, really liked the film as a kid. Really, really, as I said, kind of related to it, and so being able to do that, it was elating, I guess you could say. Elation was the feeling for sure.
Now, folks, I don't know, since we've moved over from Blog Talk Radio to our format that we use now, tiny bit of trivia, but Eric Stillwell, as you know him from The Next Generation, he was a script coordinator, and he has story credit with Christopher Trent, I believe it's Ganino, I'm sure I'm butchering it, but they, and a few other people have credit on Yesterday's Enterprise. When we interviewed Eric Stillwell, it was some years after Michael Piller, who wrote Insurrection. He wrote a book, and he had a version of it that had not been published. And we spoke of it. He actually released it on our program and eventually found its way over to TrekCore. Well, it was first on with us at NDB Media, but I believe they pulled it now because the family is now selling the book, and rightfully so. It's for sale, but Michael Piller talks about the entire production process of Insurrection. And folks, I read it. I enjoyed it. It's worth your time, even buying the book. So if you have a chance, I recommend you do so. I don't know if TrekCore still has it. They probably shouldn't, but I'm not going to get into that.
I'll definitely have to check it out. I have a question for you guys when it comes to Insurrection. How did you feel about kind of finally seeing the rekindling of the relationship between Counselor Troy and Riker in that film?
Michael.
I enjoyed it. I just thought it was so funny how it came about, it seemed, because, he was kind of getting younger. And so he was having all these feelings, and so was she. And, I just thought it was very interesting.
Do you think it felt like it wasn't real then, or?
I felt it was a little bit because of what I said. It's just like, it seems like this influence that they were under triggered it. But, if you look at other new stuff that's come out, it's like they're together. So
I was conflicted on it because we'd all seen the ending to The Next Generation, and we know what happened in the future. And then, wait a minute. Wait, she had a thing with Worf a little while ago. It's like, hey, that's what I was saying. Like, hey, but okay, whatever.
I'm just going to skip over that.
Yeah.
I might not have seen some of the other stuff, so
Yeah, I was conflicted by that, but I thought it was a good thing. I was just, hey, what about the other guy? That's it. When I was watching the movie, but
But Worf did eventually go on to Deep Space Nine, and he had a thing with Jadzia Dax, right? Yeah. So I guess by that time they would have been over, but
and most definitely was not a consolation prize. Far from. But I kid, of course. I didn't mean it to sound that way. But Insurrection, I actually enjoyed it. I've enjoyed most of the movies. I was disappointed with Nemesis. I really was.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Yeah, it's not the train wreck that everyone says. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it is. No.
Maybe not a train, but
Look, the movie got pulled in its run.
Mm-hmm.
it did.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the only movies that didn't get to finish its run. When you okay,
And it went to the plane very quickly.
okay, folks, when Star Trek V out earns you,
You're in trouble.
hey, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
I like the Voyage Home though. That was some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. That was a movie where I was like, wait, but there's no Enterprise, there's no nothing. It's
Well,
a movie
that's
I
one
came to
movie
appreciate.
that you don't have to be a Trek fan or know anything about or much about Trek and enjoy it.
Yeah, except they just kind of drop you into the middle of the storyline, right? Like if you hadn't
Well, they
seen the
do,
previous
yeah.
films, yeah. but
But
it's
that's
still
okay.
very enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they're on a ship, they're coming back from somewhere, and things are going crazy on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Beau, but that's what Star Trek is in a way, and forgive me on this. Going to a theater to take in a movie, Star Trek doesn't explain stuff. It goes in there with the understanding that you already know stuff. They don't explain phasers. They don't explain deflector shields. They don't explain the rental. They don't explain a lot of stuff. It's understood that the audience knows something.
Yeah, and they don't explain the trade blockade by the Trade Federation of. Oh no, that's Star Wars. Yeah, okay. I brought it back to the prequels.
That's good. I like it.
No, but it's true. They don't explain a whole lot, right? You go into it absolutely that way. And I like Star Trek 4, right? I like the Voyage Home, right? That's Star Trek 4, right? I think that's 4.
Mhm.
Yeah. I thought it was a lot of fun, and actually Nick Cook, when he was out here in the Bay, he came out here for a little bit of a vacation,
Mhm.
and we got together, and he wanted to do a little spoof type of thing of like Captain Hunter going back to all of these places that you saw in Star Trek 4, because we went to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, we went into San Francisco, and they did some filming out there, and he put together this little thing. I don't know if it ever got released. I haven't seen the finished product, but I know there was some filming of it, and it was a lot of fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that one. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look for that. That's kind of cool. That's neat.
Yeah, it was fun.
I didn't think of retracing some of that stuff, and I was up in San Francisco a few weeks ago, but I was self-centered. I was going up for a baseball game, and that was it. So I had to get my whale. That was a baseball game. Yeah, but we'll leave it at that. You've been involved in fandom. You got to play in the sandbox. You got to create your own stuff, and you're actually doing that now as a creator. You do D&D. You've mentioned your channel. Could you? And Beau, I so apologize. We're already an hour in, and we didn't even ask you how much time you would get. We're on
That
your
was my next thing I was going to bring up.
Yeah, and I have a habit. I've already gotten in trouble several times for not watching the clock. So, look at that! Look at that! I just got reamed on air, but it's okay. So, Beau, all kidding aside, if you did tell us, I'm so sorry as to how much time we're on your time, Beau.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm having a great time, so let's keep the good times rolling, guys.
Okay,
I'm thinking by 8:30 our time. I do want to have some time with my fiance. We're planning our wedding, so there's a lot of that going on.
Congratulations,
thank
dude!
you. Very happy about
awesome.
that. It really is.
Does she know you like Star Trek? No, just kidding.
Actually, we recently watched all of the Next Generation together this last year during COVID, and we are now. She is. We're now watching. We're watching TOS, which is great because I never went back and watched TOS. I had watched a couple of episodes, the early stuff, and with TOS, I just never got into it. Now, going back and watching it, there are some issues. It was progressive for the time, but not that progressive for certain aspects, right? Like you have some comments, some stuff, but
And they got in
Absolutely.
trouble for a lot of stuff back then. I mean,
I believe it.
they had to slip a lot of stuff in, so the censors wouldn't really know what they were talking about.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Look, if they really would have done Wagon Train to the Stars, it wouldn't have happened. A lot of the storylines, but because it was sci-fi, they got
Mhm.
away with it. I
They
mean,
got away with a lot.
look, they talked about racism, which was very clear. There were allegories for the Vietnam War,
Mhm.
which became stuff fodder for the Prime Directive down the road. But anyway, and the famous, well, there were lots of things they did, but
Yeah.
the famous one is, I believe, in the third season episode where there is an interracial kiss,
Mhm.
and
First one on TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but then there's also some criticisms about like, okay, well, there were some, especially I think in the pilot episode with Pike, there was one officer who, they were talking about not having women on the bridge and stuff like this, and oh, I wish that I could get a cute yeoman like that, stuff like this that was still a bit sexist at the
Oh,
time.
very sexist.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you see those short skirts and everything like that they are, of course, forced to wear, and Uhura, rewatching it, it felt like Uhura is definitely there for the legs, and that's upsetting because I haven't seen her do a whole lot. I think I'm still in the first season or something, but haven't seen it get to a whole lot there, which is upsetting. But still, I'm enjoying it, and I think that it was a bit of a different format from TNG. And I've likened it. The stories that they tell are very good. The writing, I think, is phenomenal. I think I just finished the episode with the actor who had committed the genocide on this planet, and James Kirk was one of the only ones who could identify him.
Oh, was that Conscience of a King? Oh,
Yes.
jeez, is that hardcore or what?
Yeah, yeah. Phenomenal writing in that. Absolutely phenomenal. The guy who they got to play Caridian just slayed it. Amazing
yeah.
acting.
The writing, but the acting as well.
Yeah,
Right. I'm so sorry that we don't remember his name right now, but Caridian, yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Phenomenal stuff. They scored at times. They really did score. Beau,
Mhm.
you have to forgive me, and I'm not sure if Michael reacted the same way, but forgive me. Look, I'm an old dog, okay, and I tell people that I miss stuff, but I noticed that you said right now about Uhura's dress, and specifically the females, the short skirts. You said something which I didn't react. I reacted to what you said. That well, okay. What is it that you said about that it was insulting of how they were dressed? What was it exactly?
Like, it felt
Yeah,
like they.
yeah,
Oh,
but
go
see, he wasn't brought up because I remember when girls
Me
wore
too.
those short skirts
I
all the
remember
time.
that in high school. I'm
So when they
old.
on.
put him in Star Trek, it's like that's what the girls were wearing at the time.
Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
granted, what they did
But
in Star Trek in TOS, they were short. I mean, they were really short
oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
I've
in the
very.
seen the
80s.
design patterns. Yes, we had to lengthen them in Farragut when we did it because we did it by the pattern and
Mm-mm.
no, no.
Bo, I apologize, and I'm sorry for harping on this, but I just noticed how you reacted, and I I'm surprised by it, and that's because I'm a Cro-Magnon. I'm Stone Age stuff. So you really do find it offensive, objectifying, I suppose, and the short skirts. And forgive me for being dumb on
No, no,
this.
no. It's very okay. I feel like there is a level like everyone looks at stuff. The over sexualization of women has been a constant theme within so much of media, right?
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, that is
Mhm.
just the way it is. It has been controlled by men. These stories have been written by men. All of that has absolutely happened. So, when you see something like that, when it's very clear, you have guys talking about the women on the ship, as in like almost like locker room type talk. You know what I mean? Not to that
but they're
extreme.
officers.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's one of those things, and then when you don't have any storylines that actually show, in my experience thus far, Uhura doing a whole lot, she's just kind of on the bridge and has her legs showing the whole time. It's one of those things where it's like it maybe for the day and age it was progressive, but it still has issues in my book, right? As a result.
Beau, dude, sorry, forgive me. We learn every day.
Yeah,
And I had never given that thought. I
neither am I.
know
Just used to
I
it.
we understand the sexualization. Yes, we get it. We know it. We endure it. And we're guys. We're, Cro-Magnons. But, dude, I'm listening to what you're telling me, and I flinched when you said that. I'm like, wow, you do have a different point of view, and I appreciate that. And it's something that I did not really think of it that way. That for me, it's progressive, and it was. But I know they still have faults and stuff, but I didn't see it that way, man.
You always got to remember as well, like in the 60s, I do remember like it was the sexual revolution, you know what I mean, and it was very different time than the 50s. But if you're going to do that, and I think a lot of places or a lot of media does it these days when you look at superhero films and whatnot, they take that sexualization down and then they write good stories for those women, right? So they're not just there to be that, right?
Window
So
dressing.
yes, exactly. So it's more about making them fully realized characters and not just there for the male gaze. Yeah.
Wow, that wow, thank you. And I'm hopefully I'm not overdoing it on the wow, but I'm impressed, and I really am taking something home with that. That I learn every day myself, and I'm glad that I still can. I'm not that much of a Cro-Magnon. I am, but I'm learning, and I thank you for that, Beau. That is so cool.
Well, I appreciate you guys letting me talk about it, on your show. Not making
Hey,
me feel weird for it.
we're all learning. No, man, that's why I went back to it. I said, wait a minute, I got to get a little more out of that. And I thank you for that. But 1995, Star Trek Voyager, Catherine Janeway. I had no problem with a female captain. As a matter of fact, I love Voyager, and everyone has heard I was lucky. June 12th, 1998. Thank you, Joe Minosky. I hope to have you on this program one day because he arranged for a studio tour for us, and we got a chance to visit Voyager sets. I told that story
Wow.
already. But, it's the holy grail. Forgive me. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's the holy grail for many fans to visit the sets. Folks, once you visit the sets, the magic's gone. It is.
Roger,
It is.
just to get you upset, a mutual friend sent me something in an email the other day. They didn't mention your name, but I know it was targeted for you. Are you ready for what it was?
I've been targeted for the last several weeks, dude. Bring it on. With my health right now, I'm on a high right now. I didn't know how long I was going to go today. Beau, seriously, I want to thank you. I don't want to make it about me because apparently I have, but I'm running on adrenaline right now. Go ahead, Michael. What is it?
He's avoiding what I'm going to say. I was sent the blueprints for Voyager.
All right. Jealous. That's funny.
I love Voyager. Voyager growing up was my absolute favorite show because I grew up with that show. Getting on Catherine Janeway, what a character, what a captain. I absolutely adored her. I felt, if we're going to talk a little bit about Voyager, sorry, I'm just kind of throwing this out there.
Let me ask you something. What was your opinion on how they ended Voyager? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
As a kid, I liked it. It's time travel stuff. I'm fine with that. I think that's right within Trek. It was post First Contact, so I think it's definitely on theme. I had no issue with it. I like the inclusion of the Borg Queen. Honestly, I think season 4 and on is best Voyager when it comes to the addition of 7 of 9. So I really like that they kind of played with that and did that. I do think that the relationship between 7 of 9 and Chakotay is pretty contrived. So I really didn't appreciate that aspect as much. But as far as the ending, I thought it was decent. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Do we have
I was
different
wondering
opinions?
how they were going to end it, and then it's like, oh, this is kind of strange. We're in the future, they're home, and just the way it all raveled out, and
Hmm.
You know, Bo, for me, for Voyager, forget the fact that I had a chance to visit the sets. For me, it was the first program that I was able to watch on its night on a regular. You know, I guess I had finally established myself where I had a regular job that was not on when the Next Generation DS9. So I was able to watch Voyager. Normal. I was there for the holiday. It was on a Monday night. It was on MLK weekend in when UPN started. So I was there. My parents were there to watch it. My wife was there, and it was a big deal being able to watch Voyager. And it is one of my sentimental favorites. I enjoyed the fact that the ship was away from help and they were on their own. I don't want to get into how they blew it or whatever. I did enjoy Voyager.
I did too. I really enjoyed it. Some good storylines there. As if I was to compare to some other stuff, I think overall TNG is my now favorite, but always have a big soft spot in my heart for Voyager. Absolutely,
Yes.
love it.
In the new Picard 7 to 9, still with Chakotay? I don't know.
I
don't
haven't
think so.
seen him.
No. Were you watching Picard, Lewis? If not, Lewis, we have to catch you up with Picard.
Yeah, you got to get going, Lewis.
Actually, he may not have seen it. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Noriegas have been going through a lot of stuff lately. So, folks, I apologize. We do have some more likes. Billy Swanson, Jacob Hayes, thank you for the likes. We thank you. And everyone else that I mentioned as well. Hopefully, I'm not being too repetitious. But we've spent some time. We've been all over the Star Trek universe. We've been Hidden Frontier, Helena Chronicles, and that. What do you want to get to? I know we're giving you short shrift at the very end. I'm sure there's some other. Are there some other items you want to get to, or do you want to return to?
I don't know.
We can always have you back another time, Beau, if you want to say
Always.
something.
Well, we don't want to threaten him that quickly. We're hoping that he would say, "Hey guys, just let me know when you want to come back." You know, that'd be a lot better.
I thought I was told I had to threaten.
I
don't
would
know.
have to say,
Let's let that go, okay?
let me ask you guys. You know, as far as Star Trek fan films go, I kind of missed. I was very much involved with Hidden Frontier and what came after that, and I really enjoyed it. But I want to kind of ask you guys what other fan films do you guys recommend for me to watch?
Well, see, I'm biased because I've been involved in some. And I worked on Starship Farragut. I mean, I really enjoy it. There are some good stories, good character development. I mean, I enjoy Intrepid with Nick. Have you seen that, or just haven't had time yet?
Back in the day, I had seen some episodes. I haven't gone back to watch it, so I will have to do that. Maybe.
Yeah, I highly recommend that.
Yeah.
And there's honestly some others that now a lot of them are very short, so they're easy to watch very quickly, which is nice. I mean, I also work on Potemkin Pictures, which has 7 different ships, adding 2 more really soon.
Oh yeah, dude!
So
if
I can announce it again.
If anyone is doing what Hidden Frontier did, it is Potemkin Pictures. And forgive me, I know some people may not like this, but on steroids. they're churning them out on a fairly frequent basis as well.
Yeah, COVID has really gotten us messed up. But I mean, right before COVID, we had to move the studio because the executive producer, his wife's job changed. So he had to physically move after he was running 6 ships with 6 different crews and production people.
Wow.
They moved from Birmingham, Alabama to Lexington, Kentucky. So not all the shows moved over. And so starting to create new ones with people from Lexington. And
All right.
one show did, Demos moved over, and they just released an episode just a few days ago. And I was there for filming, and actually we live broadcast
yes, that was
some
neat.
of the filming on Roger's sports show on Saturday morning.
It was kind of cool, Bo. We, of all things, man, we're doing sports on Saturday morning, and Michael would show up, as you can see on the screen. He would show up and like, "Oh, hey, folks, we're going to live," kind of like what they did on Good Morning America back in 1994 for the Next Generation. It was really cool. We did about, what was it, 5 or 6?
About five or six
Yeah.
interruptions.
They
Yeah, while
were
we were
interruptions.
actually filming, not, when we weren't filming.
Wow.
It was when we were filming,
That was fun.
and people would see the process of changing camera angles, redoing lines, checking everything. I mean, yeah, and it was really cool. And we're going to do it again in a week from Saturday. We're going to do another. I'm going to another shoot, and we're going to cut in on Roger's sports show.
And there it is,
Oh,
folks.
that's
It's
fun.
called Sports Talk with the Guys. You'll find it. It's on Facebook. Just go through our NDB. It'll actually be on our NDB Media page as well, so you can see it there. It's kind of neat, folks. I don't really like doing this, but we're going to have another episode like that, which is going to be kind of cool.
Shoot me a link. Shoot me a link so I can check it out.
I will.
I appreciate that. It'll be fun. It just means that we have to behave, man, because we have a different audience for that one.
I hate behaving. It's the worst.
Yeah. Well,
It's overrated. Yeah, I know.
oh, yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. I apologize, folks. Right now, you did see that was my youngest. She did bring me something because, folks, just I've teased on it.
She's supposed to bring me something. She better get over here.
Beau, I think, is closer to me than we are.
That's why she needs to get moving.
Beau, you're still in Southern California, right?
Oh, actually, I'm in the Bay Area.
Oh, you're in the Bay. Oh, man. When in San Francisco, we were actually closer to you. So then you're in California now. Still, I should say. This young man is over in Maryland. So
yeah.
So
wow.
she's going to fly over there, Michael.
Right now I'm just like a stone's throw from West Virginia and Pennsylvania, but
that's right. You're over there because you're.
I'm at the other house. Yeah.
Friend of Hidden Frontier. Sorry, friend of Hidden Frontier as well. Rick Pike is out there. I think at Maryland
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Good guy.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's no, not at all. No, don't you say sorry as a guest, man.
No,
I don't want to interrupt.
No, it's what, folks. I really want to thank my daughter and a shout out because I did get some bad news today. Again, I'm just gonna make it quick. My diet has changed. It's gone from careful to liquid. So she cooked, folks. She cooked for me, and that's my youngest. I'm sorry. I've got the feels, and she ran out, but I'm stunned. She did it, and I'm just. Oh man, because this was going to be the meal, the yogurt, but she went ahead and cooked for me, and I just had to give her a quick little shout out. I'm eternally grateful for that. Like I said,
wonderful.
I'm fortunate, and it was good. But anyway, getting back to it, I know you guys were talking about several programs. Beau, in the last 3 to 4 years, I don't know why the word plethora came to play, but there is a plethora of material out there now. It was Hidden Frontier and a few others. There was Phase 2 for a little bit. Well, there was a crossover, as a matter of fact, between you guys. James Cawley was with Hidden Frontier in one of the episodes. I don't know if it was 6th or 7th season. So there was a little bit, but there were only a few. Michael, seriously, there's over 10.
There's a lot. And I sadly I can't keep up with them.
And that's counting Potemkin Pictures as one. There's still another 10 going on. It's amazing, Beau.
Wow, that's brilliant. A lot of content.
A lot of it is because of what you guys did. Now, I'm sure you know this, but we've talked about it. Exeter, Starship Exeter, also changed it for TOS storylines. That they said, guys, we can do TOS and you can do it
Mhm.
well. And
Mhm.
Exeter really changed things for the TOS stuff. But what you guys did with Hidden Frontier, you, Rob, and everyone else, I am not doing you guys justice by just saying that. It's just you guys did some really cool stuff, man, because it was all volunteer.
Yeah. No one got paid on these
Mm-mm.
at all.
No,
You guys
It
got
was
fed though, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
and all that credit goes to Rob and team. I loved being a part of it. I was lucky enough to be a part of it, but I was an actor. I got to show up. I got to hang out. I got to read my lines. I didn't have to worry about all the stress of everything else that they had to worry about
the
to get that
production
going.
stuff.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. So all credit to them. I'm just really happy that I got to be a part of it.
Yeah, but yes, you did, and you get to share it with us, which is really cool. Now we are getting close to the time, so we talked about it. So, what'd you think of Rogue One?
All right, so I liked Rogue One. I did.
I'm surprised.
No, yeah. We hadn't talked about this before the show at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all. No.
I did
I
like
almost
Rogue
forgot to
One.
go on air because we were talking about
And it's funny, we did lose track, man. I'm like, oh, we got 47 seconds. That
Yeah.
was kind of funny.
It,
But
it was one of their better films. I was hoping to see more of those kind of film stories that they're doing. Luckily now we have the series that are coming out. Who is it?
Oh.
It's Dave Filoni.
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's hard to find a better space western in my book. I did enjoy Firefly, but this is like the next level to me. So, yeah, I love the Mandalorian and really want to see a lot more of that kind of content. So, I've got so much that I could say about how The Last Jedi totally ruined the final trilogy, and I love that we get those other stories that we can look at
Mhm.
now.
yes.
Because Star Wars is so big, so immersive, and I'm like you. I swing both ways there. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek.
Thank
It's
you, young man. Thank you. Yeah,
yes.
I'm talking about this, folks. I just dawned on me I had the Rogue One T-shirt of all things,
Mhm.
With his
and the
Enterprise.
jacket. Yes, I actually have the. Oh God, I actually have the uniform inside. I'm just wearing the jacket right now. But Bo, all kidding aside, yes, Rogue One. We did have a chance to speak about it when the movie was over. No matter what happened, I remember telling my youngest, I said, "If this is where Disney is going, if this is where Disney is going, I'm in."
Mhm. Mhm. Like I said, I really really enjoyed that seeing Darth Vader, in that scene where you finally get to see a fully realized Darth Vader, because in the prequels you don't really get that. You get, Anakin Skywalker, which is great in its own right. You know what I mean? You get to see that version, but you never get to see that one Sith Lord that everyone is afraid of and why. And they really killed that in that film. A lot of big emotions during that scene for me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and, and I appreciate that, Bo.
Mm.
And I like that we have your opinion now because many other people have given. I don't want to bore everyone else because we have discussed that. Hey, what'd you think of Solo?
I think
As
Donald
we've got
Glover
1
was
minute.
Yeah, I think Donald Glover was fantastic. I think that he did a great job with the character of Lando Calrissian. I really enjoyed that. And I like that they kind of threw in a little Darth Maul at the end there. You get to see a little more of that, and that's the redeeming parts that I liked. So,
At
not a big
this
Solo
moment,
fan.
folks, no, not at all. I was going to say at this moment, it would have been great had I had a tumbleweed go by right behind me because that would have been it,
Yeah.
folks. As I've recommended to other people. Look, Solo. It's a 2 hour. It's those old movies that used to be on after getting home from school. The afternoon movies, the movie of the week. That's probably what it is.
Hmm.
It's worth saying that you've seen it. There is some good stuff in there, but yes, Glover. Oh my
Fantastic,
God.
Lando. Absolutely fantastic.
Yes. It was. And there, for those of you that haven't seen it, there is a great connection with the Millennium Falcon of The Empire Strikes Back and Solo, which is really cool. And it has to do with the line with C-3PO. Hey, your ship has an odd way of communicating, Captain Solo. What a nice little callback,
Yeah.
I guess. Everyone has seen it. We know it, but it is what it is. And yeah, you know, it was all right. It was okay, but
Yeah, I'm excited for the future content that's coming to Disney Plus. You know, the Obi-Wan stuff. I'm really excited for. Always loved Ewan
Cassian
McGregor.
Andor, yes, he's
Mhm.
gonna have a shot. Ahsoka is gonna have one as well.
That's right. That's right.
And
And I heard that Disney is like handing the reins over to Dave Filoni, I believe, right?
I you know what? I think we all know that, but there's one person that doesn't know that, and that's Kathleen Kennedy. Because she is the executive in charge of Disney. And folks, I love it how Kathleen washed her hands, stayed quiet on The Last Jedi, and also the final movie. Because
The Rise of Skywalker.
she let the directors and the writers take it. And everyone says, oh, the director screwed up. But no. You have a $200 million movie. The studio does not let you do what you want. They don't.
I really feel like, I really feel like what they needed to do with those films is go from a big epic tale that they wanted to tell instead of writing separate little films, like the original series, which was one big story that they chopped into 3 films. I would have really liked to have seen that same treatment for this, but you can definitely see that the writers just weren't on the same page and were trying to do their own things, and the studio absolutely greenlit that. So I think that they approached it from they did it a disservice by approaching it that way, as opposed to trying to make one big space opera, which is what it was. So
yeah, there are issues, and I know that it's already been beaten to death because it is. But I do want to say this, Beau, I thank you. I thank you on a professional level for everything that you've done. I thank you for a personal level, especially for me today as well. I was not feeling it. I really was not, Beau. And I thank you. This was fun. I can't say thank you enough. Getting the insight and the commentary from you. We'd love to have you back whenever you would like to talk some more. And we gave your D&D stuff short shrift. Should have spent a little more time with that. But
well, maybe next time. Maybe next time if you guys want to talk.
Links, we can put some links up and stuff too.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, would you give us the websites right now? You mentioned your YouTube page. How do we search for the YouTube page again?
That's Quest. I believe it's youtube.com Quest Chaos.
Oh, so Quest Chaos. Excellent.
Yeah. youtube.com/Quests Chaos. Let me see if that gets in there. Boom, there it is. Check it out. We've got so much content there. It's fabulous.
QUESTCHAOS?
It's quests, plural, and then just
quests.
chaos right after that. Just as one word, quests, chaos. And then, I think we do twitch.tv/quests and chaos. So that's where we stream.
Is that it? Did I get it right or did I misspell it?
That is correct, yeah. And if you want to see my content, look at Chaos Agents and look at Natural One. Natural One is the show that I DM for. So it's very, very dear to my heart. So please check that out. We're talking about returning as soon as we can. I'm kind of a stickler for that around the table energy, especially with something that gets as serious and deep as I feel Natural One does. So we'll probably, once we can get back together, that's when we're going to resume it. We're talking about possibly in the early months of next year, so we'll see where it goes. But I really encourage you guys to check it out. Some really great storytelling there, and really great folks that I'm working with.
Awesome. We'd love to hear that. We would love to talk to you again in the future. And look, anytime, if you have news for us at any time, Beau, let us know. We'll gladly announce it, whatever, or you want to get a little bit of play on air and you want to have another conversation, dude, we're down.
I am so down. I'm so down. This has been supremely enjoyable. Absolutely. Thank you guys for the opportunity. It's great, especially during all this time with the lockdown, to be able to sit around and chat and reminisce. So I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for the opportunity. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. If you know of any of your peers from Hidden Frontier that would like to do several, hey, bring them on. We'll do that too. But
All right.
it's all good. All kidding aside, Beau, we've already gone way over. We respect your time. You've given us a lot of time. Thank you, Beau. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We thank your fiance for allowing you to be with us for an hour and a half. I figure we're going to have to make up somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't
No,
worry, I'll make up. Don't worry about it.
You the
I'll take care of
man.
that
You
aspect.
the man.
I gotcha.
All right. Thanks, Beau. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Beau. Take it easy, man. Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Beau Christian Williams, absolutely phenomenal. You got to check him out over at Hidden Frontier, and it's hiddenfrontier.net. You saw his website. It's actually on YouTube. He has Natural One and also Quest Chaos. And Beau is still with us because I don't think he knows how to exit it. So,
Did you want me to take off?
Oh no, not at all. You know what? We're actually going to end as well. I just thought you were in a hurry, to get there. So actually, we're all going to end it right now, ladies and gentlemen. Again, really fun stuff. Thank you for staying on with us, and it was a lot of fun. And leave your comments. Next time he does join us, we'll have more questions for him, and who knows? Maybe we'll be able to see some of the stuff they do on his YouTube channels, and we'll see. But in the meantime, folks, we hope you enjoyed your holiday. We hope everything is getting back to normal. And take care of you and yours. Be safe. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys real soon. That's Michael. I'm Roger. And he's Beau Christian Williams. We're out of here, guys. Peace. All right.